When we look at other people, we often see them as this confident leader. And we'll look at ourselves or we'll think to ourselves, oh, I wish I could be more like that. Or, I wish I could be more confident like that. But you know what? That self-confidence really comes from deep within our soul, in how we see ourselves, how we value ourselves, how we play out our own story. So believe it or not, your own self-confidence, your own leadership is really deep within you. And it's giving that power, giving that choice to release it and become who you want to be instead of wishing you want to be. So my guests and I are going to dive into that deeper and share these amazing insights into this conversation. Parul, hello, welcome. I'm so glad you're here for Mindful Conversation.
Well, hi, Tanya. Lovely to see you. And thank you for the opportunity to have a chat with you regarding self-confidence.
It's really interesting how, I was on Parul's podcast as well, and we really dove into this conversation. And, overall, too, that it's such an important conversation that I need to have on my podcast as well, Parul. And if you can briefly share with the listeners, where in the world are you from right now today as we speak?
Yeah, so I'm Parul and I'm based in London in UK.
Very nice. And, a little bit about what you do and what is that message in relation to what you do that you love sharing with women around the world?
Yeah, so what I do, I worked in 20 years in corporate career. But I'll tell you a bit about me just to understand. So as a child, I was growing up in a small village in Bangladesh, my early childhood. What I saw when I started high school, age of 11, is discrimination against women, because my girlfriend, parents couldn't afford two children's education. So boys end up in high school with me, girls not. And that really bothered me. Moving to UK, age of 14, I saw lots of forced marriages taking place in my community, especially Asian community. Age of 16, people, parents used to take them to Bangladesh and get them married off, and a double age of their age, mostly for economic reason. And so from age of 16, really, I started doing campaign work in a local community center. And then my career really took over from there. So although I studied and, and went into university, out of 75 in my class, my year group of accounting, I was the only Bengali girl that time. So I did a lot of mediation work. I used to run girls club just to make sure that girls have the education as part of campaign group. That led to a huge legislation change in UK. I worked with Baroness Scotland, with the local authority, campaign group, to make that change. And that had shifted a lot of things for the community. Although certain community enforcement is still high. Yeah, so my career really started from there. And then I went to working with, bigger charity, bigger organization, and work with a whole lot of people really, domestic violence, sexual abuse, living care team, FGM, sexual, if you understand, female genital mutilation in certain community like Somali community is very high. Yeah, so I really deep down on community issues. While I was working, I faced discrimination both as a female, as a colored woman, and as a youngest manager in the team. Because I've been promoted quite quickly because I was a high achiever. I always wanted more. So I worked hard. And that was recognized by organization, but some of my colleagues could not take it, especially middle-aged white men, double age of me, they found it very hard. A young female and colored, very hard. So I was bullied, group bullied. But you know what? Nothing stopped me because I always wanted more. But because I was less confident, I couldn't challenge them or I couldn't recognize them. And that later in life took me into focusing on confidence.
Yeah,
so I thought if you can build your self-confidence, you can develop the life you want to develop. Whether you are a male, female, whatever you are, the confidence play a biggest role in our life. And that's why now I specialize in confidence, especially for women and teenagers, because women, especially domestic violence women, they find very hard to speak out.
Yeah.
And if you can't speak out in a relationship, it's more hard to speak out in a job. So, confidence start at home.
Yeah.
So I now, learn, because of my life experience, it's easy for me to work with people.
Yeah. Love it. It's so true, right? We as women, and it starts at a young age too, right? Depending on what maybe happened in our life or any traumas, that are self-confidence. I mean, when you look at kids, they're so self-confident. It's so beautiful. They don't care what other people say. To a certain age, all of a sudden something happens, right? And it doesn't matter how much you're nurtured with love, it's still those influences you hear and see around you that really start to embark on this way of thinking who you are, or your own self values. And you're right about self-confidence. It comes deep within, and I find that it's when you begin to appreciate who you are, and you begin to value the things about yourself, not what other people say, not what other people think, because it doesn't matter how much they say, give you compliments, doesn't matter how much they raise you up. If your own belief in yourself is non-existent, then that self-confidence, that leadership skill that you have, is never going to blossom, I'll say, right?
Absolutely.
And I love how you mentioned that through your journey, it was because you truly, truly believed yourself downhearted. Didn't matter who tried to bring you down. It's like, no, I'm here for a reason. I'm here to continue because I know what I'm doing is helping myself become powerful, as well as all the other women and young girls and youth that are out there today. So I love that. I love that because, that's one of the reasons too I have this podcast, is hearing other women's stories, hearing how they, I'm going to say, serve themselves in a way of love and self-care. Because when you serve yourself, you're able to serve those who look up to you, right? Yeah, beautiful, beautiful. And you find, Parul, too, that, taking care of yourself every day, let's say a self-care routine, has become a part of your life that you put on a scale of priority because it helps you to stay empowered, to helps you have that self-confidence within yourself and then shine with it?
Yeah, absolutely. I think, self-care is really important. And you mentioned important point. We have to look after ourselves, because if we don't look after ourselves, who else would?
Mm-hmm.
And if we can't look after ourselves, how can we look after somebody else?
Yeah.
If we are not nourished, we can't nourish our children. So it's really important. For me, yes, I am number one, and I always have to give number one priority myself,
Mm-hmm.
because I always remember the announcement when you're going to fly. First thing in plane, they say put your oxygen mask first.
Yeah.
Because if you can't breathe, how can you help someone else to breathe? Yeah. So it's really important. Yeah. So I have my own routine, self-care. When I wake up, before even I get up from my bed, I set my intention. I just close my eye. I just say to myself, no matter what happened, I'm gonna have a good day. So even if I have challenges, I manage to sort it out. But also have some things alongside your daily things. For example, I listen to meditation every single day, guided meditation. I read at least a page every single day. Today I think is 738 days that I've been reading non-stop.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been counting because I'm journaling my reading and listening.
Lovely. Oh,
Yeah.
lovely.
So I make self-care, and every week I have some indulgent time, whether it's time with my friend, window shopping, just going for a walk. I make sure I have some time just for myself, not for my kids, not for my family, just me, having some me time. And that's how I kind of manage my self-care every day, every week.
Yeah.
And it's
So,
really important.
yeah, it is. It's so important. I was going to say, it's so important, right? It doesn't need to be complicated. It can be simple, right? And allow yourself flexibility to choose what's working for me today, that's going to have me take care of myself and give myself what I want and what I need right now at this moment. And, that flexibility is so important. Like, I totally agree where, there's something that you do as a ritual. It's a habit, like your meditation, your intentions. Those have become a part. It's my life intention, right? It's my life ritual to do that part of my life. And I love that because it only takes a few moments, right? It only takes a
Absolutely.
few moments when you get out of bed. I mean, yeah, like one of the things I do is before I get out of bed, I stretch, right? Especially my back. And it's when do you find too, Parul, that because you've made this a part of your life, it's a ritual that you don't even have to think about it anymore. It just
Absolutely.
naturally
Yeah.
happens without even thinking
Yeah.
about it.
Yeah. Yeah. And absolutely, it happens because, like, I used to struggle with sleep, for example.
Mhm.
Now I can fall in sleep within 5 minutes whenever I want to fall in sleep.
Yeah.
Is because I build up the routine. I've got now guided meditation rounds in my head without listening,
Yeah.
because I can just visualize in my head without listening the guided meditation, because you make a habit,
Hmm.
and a small habit, like slowly it builds up.
Yeah.
So yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it's so, so important, right? And you mentioned, one of your intentions in the morning is to put it out there, right? As you're lying in bed. So what motivates you every morning to get out of a bed and take on the day?
uh, First of all, my responsibility to my family, my children, for their school, but most importantly, my responsibility for myself. We only have one life.
Yeah.
So for me, make best out of it, because we don't know what's going to happen next day.
Yeah.
So why leave it whinging or moaning or not doing anything? Enjoy every moment, and that's what how I see. That's what motivates me. Is like, I want to enjoy every moments of my life, and
Yeah.
and I'm a mom. I've got 2 kids. I want to make sure my children's enjoy too.
So, so important, right? Especially as moms, myself, other teenagers already, but that role model, right? You need to take care of yourself because they always say your actions
Yeah,
speak stronger than your words, right?
yeah,
And as a parent, as a mom, you want the best things for them. You raise them with confidence. Tell them what you're proud of, things you share with them that you're not happy with, all those messages. But yet, if you're not doing things for yourself and taking care of yourself, what is that saying, right? What is that saying?
absolutely, absolutely.
So, a few key messages, Parul, that I'm hearing is that leadership of yourself, that self-confidence rises within when you make yourself a priority, when you start your morning with a daily routine that uplifts you and sets you in a mindset of love and care, the fact that you even show to your children that you are a priority. That self-confidence, that leadership role comes through by not letting the unstoppable stop you dead in your tracks. You find ways to, I'll say, go on around, but continue on that journey and to make self-confidence always be a part of you. And those days where you feel that leadership in you, that self-confidence is at a lower point, because we all face it, we're all human, right? We can hear that voice that she's not being nice to us in our voice. What helps you to, let's say, get over that little roadblock and feel this energy within you again?
Yeah, I think it's really important. Small voice, small talks in your head, always there.
Mm-hmm.
It's important to build up a routine of self-talk, positive self-talk,
Mm-hmm.
so that when something comes in your head, not let it take over your mind immediately. Like, find something to say. I mean, for me, I'll just say I am the driver of my own bus,
Yeah.
so nobody can control me. I'm going to be my own control. So is developing those techniques. I mean, I used to wander around in my mind for a long time, and that's why I had a sleeping issue. But because I've developed a technique, so if something comes in, I could quickly recognize it and let it saying, okay, I acknowledge it, but I'm going to move on.
Mm-hmm.
Our mind is like a garden.
Yeah.
Weeds comes in, But if you have a certain routine, the weed doesn't take over because you keep cleaning it. So if you have a routine of meditation, and meditation doesn't have to be, like 20 minutes in the morning. You could be, sometimes I meditate, Tanya, while I'm microwaving my
Yeah.
porridge. 2 minutes I do meditation, like
Yeah.
closing my eyes, 2 minutes.
Yeah.
So it doesn't have to be long. So if you develop a short routine for yourself, even though things comes in your head, you can switch. And the switching is the important bit. We are human beings, things comes in life,
Yeah.
but it's switching.
Yeah.
Learning to switch to positive thinking is really important.
Yeah.
And thus, because I developed a habit, it's easy for me to switch from the small voice to the positive. No, okay, I understand, but go away. I'm going to focus on that.
Yeah, I love, Parul, how you mentioned that meditation can be anything, because I'm a true believer in that. It doesn't need to be the way everybody's else doing it. Like I find meditation for myself as well as just, okay, I'm gonna catch my breath, close my eyes, and just be in tuned to the way I'm feeling. I'm going to just stand outside or look out a window and just be in the moment with what I see, and nothing else is in my mind. That is meditation in itself. It can
Absolutely.
happen anywhere, anytime. You're going on a walk. Just listen to the sights, listen to the sounds. That is meditation, right? So I love how you pointed that out, that it's not a set way. It
Yeah,
can be, again, flexible, but the important thing is to have it happen in your life every day, some point during the day. And it can even be, I'll say, when you're lying in bed, it's just, okay, I'm just going to relax here for a sec, catch my breath, relax. That is meditation, right? It's being in the moment with how you're feeling, what you need, and setting yourself up with, like you said, self-care, self-love, self-intention, self-acceptance, and being and wanting to be someone who believes in yourself.
absolutely.
Yeah,
Yes.
I love it.
Yeah.
Now, Parul, we all have challenges in our life, and you've touched on some of it as well. But if you can share, if you're fine with sharing, what is not a business challenge right now, but a personal challenge that you're having?
Yeah, I think one of the personal challenge I have been having for a long time really is a weight loss, because I have certain health condition. So I've tried every single way, going through doctor to personal trainer to whole lot. There's nothing I haven't, you know. So that's something I'm still working on it. And recently I've been through a journey with someone who
Mhm.
actually helped me with gut health, and that helped me quite
Mm,
a lot. Because when you have a physical health challenge that doesn't help you to lose weight, it doesn't matter. But what I realize is, like, is no point me thinking in my head, things will happen. All I want is not weight loss, is being healthy.
yeah.
And if I been not thinking about too much, just let it go,
Yes.
it's better.
Yeah.
So recently it's working better, but that's something been I had a quite a long time problem with, because of my health issues, that a condition that I've been growing up with since teenager.
Mhm.
So yeah, so I think that's my biggest challenge in my life, as a personal life, really.
Yeah. You know what? It's the words that you said, it can't lose weight, right? When you're saying that, your whole mind, in you're saying up universe, can't lose weight, can't lose weight, can't lose weight. Well, you're not going to. And that's with anything you look at, right? If you say, I can't do this, I can't do this. Well, that's what you're hearing. That's what the universe is hearing, right? But instead, turning around the story and I will live my life with joy, that this is me, this is who I am, I'll love who I am. And just by doing that, that whole mindset shifts, your hormone levels shift. That cortisol is not skyrocketed, that prevents things from happening, and your hormones are more leveled, and little things happen, right? And it's like you said, this is, it's been a medical issue, it's underlying, it's been with you your whole life. So it's not going to change overnight, but doing a baby step in itself is huge when it leads to success every day, right?
No, absolutely.
Beautiful,
I think
beautiful.
mindset, absolutely, Tanya,
Hmm.
is really important. Is self-talk, what we say.
Yeah.
So, it's important to say what we want, not what we do not want. So, and that's really, and I've seen a shift in how I feel
Yeah.
about me, and not saying I can't lose it, not saying I'm working on it, and I'm happy who I am. I just want, I'm going to be healthy. So I live, I've changed a lot on everything, really. How I feel, how I look, how I think, how I eat,
Yeah.
the whole lot. But, as I said, it's a baby step. You
Yeah.
cannot change anything overnight, whether it's growing your confidence, your health, or anything. You have to take baby step. And when you take
Mhm.
one step, you can go to the next step. So absolutely,
Yeah, so true, right? That's something that I say to women. Myself as a mindset, self-care, and a fitness coach, I say, you know what? What's that baby step you took today? Then that is reason to celebrate because you didn't do it yesterday or the day before, right? If you went on a walk today and it was 5 minutes, but you hadn't done that, who knows when, that is reason to celebrate. And when you celebrate that, it's like, oh man, that feels so good. Does it not? Does it not? It does.
yes.
And I love how overall, Parul, you have this really self-loving, this positive mindset, and you mentioned that, right? And it's so, so important to have in our life for so many reasons. It's like this domino effect. It touches on other parts of life or touches on other emotions we're feeling, touches on our life overall. So when you look around you and the world's negative, or people in your environment, people around you are really negative, and you can feel that energy just, it's a dark energy. What keeps you with a positive mindset and allows you to still be successful, as in being a leader of your own mind, being a leader of yourself, and having self-confidence? So what keeps you positive?
Yeah, absolutely. I think, I always kind of appreciate a life. We only have one life,
Mhm.
and if we keep whinging on negative stuff, what happened in the past, we're going to keep living in the past.
Yeah.
The question is, do I want to live in the past, or do I want to live in present and future? So
Mhm.
bringing future, how I see my life, and I bring in present. So okay, I'm living that life. So keeping that in the mind, that I'm living my future life at present.
Mhm.
And and I think that's a big shift on positivity, not living in the past. I lived in the past for
Yeah.
14 years, Tanya,
Yeah.
because I was bullied and group bullied, not just by colleagues, but by extended family members too.
Yeah.
And because of lack of confidence, I couldn't speak out.
Mhm.
And for me, that's the biggest learning. If
Yeah.
you live in the past, if I keep whinging, I'm going to be keep staying on the past. No,
Yeah.
I don't want to be living that life.
Yeah.
I only have one life.
Yeah.
So live the life at fullest. And that's what I say to myself. That's what I say to everybody. Enjoy life. God
Yeah.
given you one life.
Yeah.
Enjoy it. What is your life purpose? What my life purpose? So I keep revisiting my life purpose.
Yeah. So true, right? It's I think we hit a certain point of our life where we finally say, okay, I need to make important. What do I want in life? What do I need in life? Myself as well. I had been bullied through primary school, been high school. Then I was in a verbal abusive relationship for 8 years. And, all these traumas, all this past, sexually harassed, all that stuff. And then there came a point like 28 years ago where it's like, okay, well, I'm going to now find out who I truly am, who deserves to be in my life, what I need, what I want. And that journey has never stopped, right? It's like we talked about, summing it up. It's those daily rituals we do every day. It's acknowledging our uniqueness that we have, that unique person that we have, seeing and valuing, believing in our own gifts, taking care of ourselves every day, loving who we are, hearing that negative voice who she can be really awful to us, and allow her to talk, but then double up with self-kind words, not only for other people, for ourselves, right? And it's really wonderful how you summed up that you have a choice, right? You have a choice to live in the past, or you have a choice to give yourself permission to move forward on this journey, accept who you are, live each day with like, wow, I got to live another day. This is powerful, right? And waking up with your intentions and making yourself a priority every day. Love that. Love that. As Parul, as we're slowly drawing this conversation to a close, there's final questions I really looking forward to asking you. And there's quotes, Parul, that each of us have and we tend to live by, right? So what is a quote, Parul, that you absolutely love and you tend to live by, and it's maybe in the back of your mind?
Yeah, I mean, I love reading. I think since COVID, I've been reading every single day. So it's 2.5 years. And one of the book I read by Napoleon Hill, Think and
Mm,
Grow Rich. And what he said, I've got a quote here. He said, "You are the master of your destiny.
yeah.
You can influence, direct, and control your own environment. You can make your life what you want it to be."
Hmm.
And
Yeah.
I love that quote,
Yeah.
because end of the day, if we can control our mind, we can control our destiny. So it's really important, not the little voice take over our head,
Yeah.
but we take over our little voice and say, no, I'm going to live my life.
So
So,
true.
yeah, so that's a quote I always live by.
Love it. I don't think I have. No, I don't have one of his books here, but yeah, I have one of his books too. It's a few there, but yeah, not his. And advice. You shared some beautiful advice, but maybe there's one piece of advice that you've been meaning to share and haven't got around to it or just thought of it now. So, what is another piece of advice that Parul you can share with our audience today?
Yeah, I think one of the things just to remember that, and I mentioned that a few times, is uh, as a person, human being, we go on life. So live every single day.
Yeah.
Set your intention before getting up in the bed from bed. And if you struggle, seek help, because lots of people struggle but don't seek help. There are
Mhm.
lots of help available, lots of people around. We are in an age of technology, so please do not sit back and think and think. If you can't think positive, get help.
Yeah.
Someone is there to help you
Yeah.
to move forward with your life and create the life you deserve. You deserve the best life. So don't live in the past. Live on the future you want to be.
Yeah, love it, right? Because we're so good at not giving ourselves permission to ask for help because we think we can do it all on our own. We think we don't deserve it. And then we stay stuck, right? Stay stuck. So I love it. And Parul, if this was the last day of your life, what is something that you would be most grateful for?
Life.
Mm,
I'm thankful for this life. Life is beautiful. So yes, we have family, everything else, but life itself is beautiful. So I'm very thankful for the life and grateful.
lovely. Advice. We're all given advice. What's the best piece of advice someone has given you?
Oh, I had quite a lot of advice, actually. I think
So
one of the
one
best,
piece, one
yeah,
piece.
one piece.
Yeah, one piece.
Say yes to opportunities.
Mm,
That has been absolutely phenomenal in my life. I always taken the opportunity. So I always say yes to opportunity. You never know what opportunity gonna lend you to the next opportunity. So say yes to opportunity, I will say.
love it. Oh, Parul, thank you so much for being a guest. I loved our conversation and, the wisdom that you shared, the wisdom that is really insightful for looking deep within ourselves, giving ourselves permission, and making a choice, right? So thank you
Absolutely.
so much. And thank you everyone to being here for another Mindful Conversation podcast. This is Tanya Otterstein-Liehs, mindset, self-care, and fitness coach, reminding you to, when you lie in bed, think about the best thing that happened today. And as you wake up in the morning, send out or write down things that you're grateful for. Until next time, have a beautiful day. Love who you are and make the choice to make yourself a priority.
Thank you very much, Tanya.